All right, so Jamie Vardy will be leaving the Leicester City at the end of the season. Let me try and read some messages and then I'll come to the guys for some more analysis. This one says, good afternoon, guys. I'm really enjoying the show. Chelsea will win against Everton. Newcastle, okay, so Chelsea will win against Everton, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and draw against Liverpool. Mark my words. Enoch Inum from Ashaman. Yeah, the Chelsea fans, yeah, if you allow them, they'll say things that don't exist, but it's fine. Guys, let's talk about the man. Charlie, look at the trophies. One Premier League title, Community Shield, FA Cup in the Golden Boots, Man of the Match Awards. There's a crown with the fox. Oh, Charlie, this guy.
There's the Guinness record scoring in 11.
What did you like about him?
I think he was a character. I think outside the football, he was quite good at football. Don't get me wrong. Let's not act like he was a gimmick player. He was quite good at football. But he had character. Like, he was never afraid to be himself. You know, he was able to, you know, do something. He entertained us aside the goals. And sometimes you need players like that. I think sometimes you have a lot of interest. Like, let me give you an example. Someone like Lionel Messi. You know, Messi is amazing at football, but Lionel Messi doesn't have character in the same way, if you get what I'm saying.
Diego Costa kind of
so sometimes those are the players, sometimes you remember them more, not because they are so amazing at football, but like they do interesting things. And to add to that, he wasn't just a character. He scored goals. I mean, he's someone who's finished as top scorer in the Premier League before. Won Leicester's first league title.
He's in the Premier League first 100.
He scored 100 goals in the Premier League. I believe he won their first FA Cup. Scored 11 games in a row in the Premier League. Like, look, Jamie Vardy was just, and it was crazy because he played in a way that it was like Inzaghi had drank Red Bull, and we all know he liked to drink his Red Bull. He played like Inzaghi who had drank Red Bull. Run off the shoulder, push the ball forward.
I like that.
The way he takes penalties, it's just pure power.
You see, I like the fact that Sisu talks about character. He didn't look like a man who was always lacking motivation. Even now, I mean, under this season that Leicester have been very whatever it is, when you watch him play, he's different.
And even, remember the opening day of the season, the Spurs fans were kind of making fun of him. Because if you remember, Spurs and Leicester were kind of involved in that title race where Leicester eventually won. And what did he do? He pointed to the Premier League badge, said 1, pointed to the Spurs fans and said 0. And that was one of the first, like, viral moments of the season, you know. Even though it's not been a vintage season for him, look, he's 37 by now.
37, 38.
Yeah, like he's an older guy. Look,
late bloomer.
He blew, but he did a lot in that late blooming time, you know, because he made his first Premier League game at 27, 28.
And he's 2 goals away from scoring 200 goals from Leicester for Leicester.
So look,
that's crazy numbers.
And considering the strikers that have played for Leicester before him, who had played for England, Gary Lineker, Emil Heskey, and other players who had played for Leicester, you wouldn't expect Jamie Vardy to be the guy to lead them to their first title, to be the guy to lead them to their first FA Cup. So I think, look, Jamie Vardy is one of those guys who played for a more unheralded Premier League team, gave us good moments, and I think he's a legend of the league for sure. I think he'll never be forgotten.
Charlie, this guy be legend though. You see, when you were talking, you know, I was reminiscing on. I was thinking about the kind of players he played with. Like Shinjo Okazaki or
Leonardo
Lua.
Like, you know the funny thing, I was watching
Simpson.
Simpson. You know the funny, I was watching a Premier League game a few weeks ago, and I heard this voice on commentary. I'm like, this person sounds like they've not been doing commentary for a long time. So there's this website, Internet Commentators Database. It's like IMDb for commentators. So I went, Mark Albrighton. So it just shows you some
co-commentary duties.
I think it was the Leicester Newcastle game. I think that was a few weeks ago. So it just shows you that a lot of the guys he played with, they are not stars. Robert Huth, he played for
Middlesbrough, from Chelsea.
And who was their keeper?
It was Schmeichel.
Schmeichel was their keeper.
And look at
I think Schmeichel would have probably been the only.
And look at Schmeichel, whose career was all like, your dad was this great goalkeeper, but you're not as good. So I think, and look at Claudio Ranieri. Everyone remembers him from his time at Chelsea, how he kind of blew their Champions League semi-final against Monaco and that kind of stuff. So a lot of redemption stories in that Leicester team. And without Jamie Vardy, it wouldn't be possible. I think the player who was better in that team, Riyad Mahrez. I think that's the only player.
Even that was a huge gamble.
Mahrez,
Kante.
How about Kante? I was just about to say Kante.
Thank you. I forgot. Those are the two players you can say are better than him.
Now drink water.
All of them are falling off.
Stop that.
Guys, yeah, sorry. But drink water played that. He was an integral part of that squad.
Everyone who was integral was there. Wes Morgan was integral. But
the funny
you
thing,
want Wes Morgan to play for your club?
The funniest thing was Nathan Dyer. He was on loan from Swansea at Leicester. Swansea got relegated that season, if I remember correctly.
And he won the league.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, kudos to Jamie Vardy for what he's done for Leicester City. I'm sure that.
Oh, Jeffrey Schlupp was also in
Schlupp,
that
was also there. The
Leicester fans Martin joined in January in that season, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so he also won the title.
He has a Premier League medal.
Charlie.
Where are they now?
Anyway, it's a good one for Jamie Vardy. A very, very good one. I enjoyed watching him. I'm sure you did as well.